morning. It's dawn on Bulbarrow Hill and I'm out for a morning session. Made a few friends this morning. I've been shooting this morning with these wonderful horses here and the Blackmore Vale at dawn beneath. It's been a good session and I've been working with long lenses, but now I've moved closer. Trouble is the horses are inquisitive and they're so close to my frame I'm struggling to make a composition. Sun's just coming up over there. And I'm thinking when I get a bit of direct side lighting on this scene, it's going to be pretty good. But there's a wonderful sky. I don't know if you can see it if I angle the camera up like that. And I'm really quite pleased with how this morning session's gone. It's certainly been fun to be here at 4 a.m. I've had a really good session here this morning and I was hoping for some mist down there in the Blackmore Vale, but from up here on Bulbarrow Hill you get these wonderful views, and the horses being here has been a real bonus. Quite a session that I'm very pleased with and just wonderful to be here. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous morning. Summer, and for the next couple of months we're not going very far at all. It's always good every year to have a bit of time at home here on the Somerset-Dorset border to catch up with all sorts of things, life, friends, barbecues. But I really need, as always, to get out and about making pictures. So my mission this summer, as with every summer, is to really come up with a set of pictures that utilise the beauty of this particular part of England where we live. Working on your own patch presents many opportunities. You can't, after all, beat local knowledge. That familiarity can be quite a problem. The simple fact is we've lived here almost 20 years and now it's a real challenge to come up with new locations that I haven't photographed many times before. So I just have to get the boots out and get out hiking, trying to find new locations and have a look at locations that I know very well and reappraise them with fresh eyes to come up with a shoot list of ideas to work on over the next couple of months. I am actually really fired up about it and quite excited.
Hurrah! What do you call it?
Selfie stick.
Selfie stick.
We've come out on a beautiful summer's evening to Maiden Castle, one of the biggest hill forts in Europe, if not the biggest hill fort in Europe, dating from 600 BC. And it's an amazing sight. from the air in particular, but quite difficult to photograph, and I've never tried it before. But as it's one of Dorset's most notable landmarks and an ancient site of historical interest, I feel I really should give it a go.
Okay, well, we've gone up hills, we've gone down hills, then we go up another hill, and then we come down another hill just to go up another one. And this is what one has to do to earn one's picnic.
Hill forts are essentially just bumps in the ground, quite difficult to photograph, probably best seen from the air. Nevertheless, I'm trying a very simple picture here. There's some really nice light, late evening, and there's also quite a good sky. So what I'm doing is a very simple shot using 17mm wide-angle lens and a polarizer to really bring out that wonderful sky above. Some good shapes in the cloud up there, and also a little stop and neutral density filter, because the breeze is making this grass in the foreground waft quite nicely. So I'm trying to use that to give a bit of interest to the foreground. It is a really simple composition, but it may just work. So when I'm using the neutral density filter, like the little stopper, it's very difficult to see much through the actual eyepiece of the lens. So in that particular situation, live view becomes very useful. I'm carrying on experimenting with different shutter speeds. I don't want the grass to be such a fuzzy, blurry mess that there's no detail there. Nevertheless, the motion on the grass is what will make the shot, as well as the cloud in the sky. I think just a few minutes ago the sky was best. It's now starting to lose that definition. I'd love to be able to get up above Maiden Castle in a microlight or a balloon or something to see it from the air. Must be really special. So I've shifted position and I'm looking back towards the north now, and I've got wonderful side lighting on the mounds of the Maiden Castle beneath me, picked up by this wonderful light we're getting here. Probably about an hour to go till sunset. Real good quality to the light, good sky. I'm well pleased with this. I've taken the ND filter off now, going for a straight shot, using the polarizer, of course. And of course, when I'm making an exposure, I'm having to shade the front of the lens to stop any flare problems. That's always something to be aware of, particularly with really wide-angle lenses. It's a good time to be using auto bracketing, using 3 shots here, one for the sky, one for a middle exposure, and one for the shadow detail, just in case I've got any contrast problems. And of course, I can stand away from the camera, shade the front of the lens with one hand, hold this video camera with the other, and using auto bracketing, do my 3 exposures.
You're doing one of those high tripod things again, which I often struggle to understand.
Yeah.
It looks suitably bizarre from where I'm standing. And you can't see particularly what you're shooting, can you?
No, I can't, but I've got live view on, so I can check my exposure. The higher I get, the more impression I get of the patterns and the shapes of the
hill fort.
dawn, and I'm going out to shoot Sherborne Castle, and it's a misty morning, so it's looking quite positive. And I've collected behind me here, you can see, a band of followers this morning. So here we go again. Behind me in the mist there lies Sherborne Castle. I've shot here before, but I've not had the big 200 to 400mm lens before, which I think will open up some opportunities to do the shot better. And I've got my followers here as well, quite close, licking me as I set up, such as the travails of a landscape photographer. It's all good fun. Do you mind? Sun's coming up over there, just behind a bit of cloud at the moment, but it should be coming through. Behind me on the scene here, it's really quite beautiful, and I've experimented with making a panorama and just working the situation now. I think it'll get better. But there's some lovely mist. The big problem is the cows. They're getting too close, and it was funny to start with, but now it's a little bit difficult because as I'm shooting, they're coming up and licking me and trying to lick my camera bag and everything. These things happen. Always with panoramas, the hardest thing is getting the camera absolutely level. So I use the camera's own spirit level, but also this one here, hot shoe mounted, because I need to be able to get the camera level in this plane as well as this plane. Do you see what I mean? So I'm going to end up with too much sky, but I can always crop that down subsequently. It's always better to give yourself more room when making a panorama than you need, and then fine-tune the composition subsequently by cropping. What a beautiful morning, and made all the more special in a way because I'm just about 2 miles from home. Behind me, I think you can see the mist is pretty much burnt off now, so probably the decisive moment has passed. I experimented with panoramas, I experimented with really tight shots, I experimented with verticals and horizontals. The perfect moment lasted maybe, I don't know, 10-15 minutes when the mist and the early morning light was just combining. Just one of those sessions that really leaves me buzzing. This is what it's all about. Good morning, it's another dawn, and following yesterday's wonderful session shooting Sherborne Castle in the mist, I thought with the clear skies and the heavy rain we had yesterday evening and the lack of wind that another misty morning would be a virtual certainty. But here I am up on Gales Hill looking down on the Blackmore Vale, and there's not a hint of it. It just shows that Mother Nature is never predictable. This morning with the wind's getting up here and with no cloud, it's just not going to work. I might as well just go back either to bed or back for an early breakfast. But the thing is, the great beauty of working here on my own home patch, just really close to home, is that I can always return. Another morning, another week, another month, another year, doesn't matter. Because I'm here, I might as well try and make something of it. With the sun rising, I'm looking straight into the light. It's not the shot I wanted, but I might as well give it a go. It's early evening on Hambledon Hill, and it's an ancient hill fort, this, a bit like Maiden Castle. Beautiful setting. And over the last few days we've been getting some quite stormy weather with some really dramatic skies. And that's what I'm hoping to make the most of this evening. So I've got the 17mm tilt shift lens on. When I'm using this lens, I always check before I start shooting that there's no tilt or shift movements dialed in from the last shoot. So easy to make that mistake. And I'm using a 0.6 neutral density grad hard filter to balance out the landscape and this dramatic sky. Great light, great clouds. It's coming together nicely. About an hour to go before sunset. I just hope we continue to get these big, black, dramatic clouds drifting through the sky. These lighting conditions are so appealing not just because of the dramatic sky, but also the light and shade on the landscape below. This sort of dark and bright areas gives real drama to the scene. I could, of course, choose to put a big stopper filter on to use a long exposure to get the clouds to streak through the sky. That would be one approach. But I think there's so much interest and texture to the sky that I don't want it just becoming a streaky mess. I really want to show that anger in the clouds. Waiting. We know that game so well. Sun will hopefully be coming any minute. I've switched to the 14mm super wide angle lens because there's so much drama in the sky above that I want to incorporate as much of it as possible. The great joy about being away on a photography trip to somewhere like the Yukon or France or Burma, Australia, wherever, is that really from day to day the only thing on my mind is where the next photography location is going to be, where we're going to sleep that night, and what the next meal is likely to be. But here, photographing close to home, life isn't quite so simple. The trouble is, there are so many things competing for my attention. I'm sure it's the same for you. Running a business, the office, family, friends, home. It makes creating the time to get out and do the location searching and the actual photography so difficult. It's a real challenge. I suspect it's a challenge I'll be grappling with for the rest of my days, but the thing is, We photograph best what we love the most. And I have a deep emotional bond with this region. It's home. And I know one way or another I'll be photographing it until I'm well past my sell-by date. It's early September and summer is coming to an end. In a few days' time I'm off to Cologne, after that California. Lots of adventures coming up, lots to look forward to. But in a way, I'm somewhat wistful because we love our summers here. I haven't got out photographing as much as I would have liked, just too many other distractions. But that's just the way of the world. And I guess next summer will be with us before we know it.